Hello Ride-On people. Now the Ducati Multistrada V4S is just an amazing machine and owners of it seem to love it. However, when you look on YouTube and on the web forums and you ask owners themselves, there is one gripe that really grates them, and that is the Sygic multimedia system. Now in this video what I hope to do is decipher some of the secret sauce in order to get the Sygic up and running on your machine and so that you can use it, but also highlight some of the big rock problems as I see it in terms of what Sygic / Ducati need to do in collaboration in order to fix the key big rocks and enhance the user experience.
Firstly, pair your phone. Take your phone to the bike, turn the bike on, go into the settings menu, scroll down until you see the Bluetooth option near the bottom of the screen. When you select Bluetooth, it will give you the Bluetooth options to pair with a phone or with your intercom. Select the phone. You'll have to wait a few seconds for it to find your phone and then you'll be paired. To be able to run the Sygic multimedia system on your Ducati Multistrada, you'll need two applications. One, the Sygic app, and two, the Ducati Connect app. You'll need to run through the menu options for Ducati Connect, selecting your country, agreeing to the terms and conditions, selecting your preferences, your region, and selecting OK, etc. to the usual prompts. And similarly, you'll need to go into Sygic and make sure all the default settings look correct. One key note is to ensure that you enable Bosch connectivity if it is not connected as a default. If you see Ducati Connect may have a connection problem on screen, it's because you don't have Ducati Connect as your current selected top application. You'll also need to do some initial setup on your iPhone. Make sure Bluetooth and Wi-Fi are both on, as Bluetooth is used to connect the bike to the phone, but Wi-Fi is used for the actual Sygic navigation app. And you'll need to go through some general setups in terms of access for Ducati Connect app and also location services. If you're still having problems connecting to the navigation system whilst the Ducati Connect app is open and is the top or current selected app, then you may have a problem with the actual Sygic application itself. I found I had to delete my version that I had on my phone and reinstall it, re-download it from the App Store in order to get it working. Usefully, Sygic provide an online planning tool on their website. It is a bit cramped and it's not the most intuitive, shall we say, to use. However, it is possible to create routes using their map and also then to send it to yourself via email and open it up on the application and get it to run on the TFT. Alternatively, you can plan routes directly on the phone itself, and that's probably just as easy as using the website a lot of the time, and it's probably that little bit more accurate in my personal experience. Loading a route from a phone is pretty easy. You just load up a favourite or enter a new destination or some waypoints in the phone itself, and once it's loaded into Sygic, you then turn on the Ducati and wait for Bluetooth to establish connection to your phone, and then wait for Wi-Fi to establish connection to Ducati Connect. Make sure Ducati Connect is the top app, and then you should be able to see it. Importing from a GPX used to be possible via a workaround. For MyRoute app phone app users, you could select an arrow, then select Sygic 48, and it would load into Sygic. Now, they changed something recently in the last version of the Sygic update, and that porting from MyRoute app directly into Sygic is no longer possible. It did have a 48 waypoint restriction, but that was enough for most. But it just doesn't work anymore. All that happens is it shows the route to the first waypoint, and that's it. It's a known problem, and MyRoute app have actually reached out to Sygic a number of times to try and sit down in discussions and resolve the issue, but I don't know, Sygic seems to have their la-la hat on and are not responding to those communications. I've also reached out to their technical support teams, highlighted this as well, and although I was promised a response within 3 days, it's been 14 days now and I've heard nothing from them. So talking of problems, these are the big rock problems as I see them. One is I can't import GPX from my route app. It only indicates the first waypoint, and as mentioned, MRA have already reached out to Sygic a number of times and Sygic are not responding. I cannot use applications such as Waze at the same time as Ducati Connect because Ducati Connect must always be the top app for navigation to stay invoked, and that's a problem for me because I like to use Waze to highlight hazards ahead, and if there is a traffic jam, for instance, you can use Waze to redirect you around it based on the community feedback. And you cannot import GPX or save created routes in the Sygic online planning tool. So it's not a planning library as such, it's there to just create a quick route and email it to yourself. And I can't see those features available in the premium service either. Additionally, you have to have the iPhone auto lock feature invoked, as Ducati Connect will not continue to work with a locked phone. And that's really a security issue. And lastly, multi-waypoint routes created on the Sygic website do look perfect online, but generally large routes, 20, 25 waypoints, once you get them on your phone, the app resequences some of the waypoints, and that's a real issue. So you create your route online, you email it to yourself, you click on their link, and what you see in the app doesn't reflect what you see online perfectly. And they should be verbatim, right? Should always be in sync. Should always be the same map in your website as the map used in your app, assuming you have the latest version of the app and you're looking at the website today. And that just is not the case, unfortunately. So they're out of sync themselves there, and that needs to be improved as well.
So I have been able to use Sygic for 2 rides of 300 miles, and it kind of worked. There was a couple of hiccups, but I was able to generally follow the line and get through to where we needed to go. But you do have to question, is all the hassle really worth it, and the inaccuracy really worth it when for $150 you can just buy a Beeline and have done with it? Or should they have just gone with Apple CarPlay? You lose out, you don't get waypoints, but it works and it's out of your hands. It's down to Apple. We all know Apple makes great software. I don't know. At present, I haven't been able to get, I've got my phone Bluetooth connected, I've got my Cardo Pack Talk Bold intercom Bluetooth connected, and I've not been able to play and hear my music, even though I can control it from the screen for some bizarre reason, and I've not been able to accept phone calls either. So a bit bizarre, really. Anyway, kind of welcome to my never before seen in video man cave, and let me show you around my pool room. Got some nice memorabilia on the wall in terms of motorcycle related stuff. But also down here, which is a basement, we have these things. Anybody with cats might know what they are. They are litter robots, and they do all the dirty work for you. They get rid of all the crap, and the crap ends up looking like this. There is a perfectly formed turd. And those of you that watch my channel regularly will know that my preferred polisher is F11. I like this ceramic coating, it's quite pricey, but it seems to work. So I have a microfiber cloth and an F11. But what I've learned really about my $30,000 Ducati and its rather flashy Sygic multimedia system is that at the end of the day, you can't polish a turd. Okay, a bit tongue-in-cheek there. At the end of the day, the Ducati is fabulous. I think it's an amazing motorcycle. I'm totally in love and obsessed with its active cruise control, its blind spot monitoring, its comfort, its ergonomics, the way it sounds, the way it looks, the way it feels. It's a fantastic motorcycle, and I love what Ducati have done with it. The only fly in the ointment is the multimedia system. It's just not right. And the good thing about that is it's all software related. So whether the problems are with Sygic or whether they're with Ducati or whether it's a third party, I'm sure they'll all get together and at some point they'll work through the nuances and make it perfect. Had exactly the same problem with BMW a couple of years ago with their BMW connected systems. It was a real nightmare. It took a while to work out the magic sauce and some workarounds just to get it working. And then once you got it working, it was pretty good, and they've subsequently improved on it, and now it's a really good system. I think this is the same kind of step for Ducati, just like it was when they first started doing electronics. They were a little bit behind the curve and it was hard work with the electronics. Now they're probably, well, no, they're definitely the best in the world when it comes to motorcycle electronics. So I would say it's going to be the same with the software as well. We all have to be a bit patient. It's just that you don't feel like being patient when you spent a lot of money. But for now, I'll run Waze on my phone and I'll run Beeline on the little Beeline device with the app. It's all I need. I'll listen to my music via my Cardo. Anyway, I hope if you do want to try using the Sygic system and you've been scratching your head, I hope this video will give you some instructions so you can at least get up and running, try and work through some of the nuances yourself. And when it comes to the big rock problems, I hope that Ducati sort them out themselves. I've actually reached out to, well, Ducati North America reached out to me to ask me about my bike, and I gave them feedback for about an hour, and I actually offered to sit down in meetings with them in Sygic and work through these issues. And I don't suppose that'll ever happen, but the offer's there, and I hope that sooner or later it becomes as good as the bike is, because the bike is phenomenal. All right, take care.
Hey you, if you want to become one of the Ride On people, don't forget to subscribe. Ride often, ride carefully, ride on.